What's going on, guys? Danny from Skateboard Strength, and in today's masterclass series, we aim to go over one of the most common injuries skaters face, the beloved ankle roll. So one of the most asked questions we get about ankle rolls is what to do directly after the roll. Now, this is going to be dependent on how severe the roll is and what your capabilities are straight after. Before we get into that though, let's first tackle one of the most asked and debated questions: to ice or not ice directly after. In the past, it's been common to apply ice directly after a roll when applying the RICE protocol. RICE, or rest, ice, compression and elevation, was a coin term by Dr. Gabe Merkin in 1978 and has been industry standard for a long time. However, an overwhelming amount of research has come out in recent years proving that applying ice directly after an injury actually delays their body's natural processes, one of which swelling is a big part of. So much research, in fact, that the man himself, Gabe Merkin, has come out and retracted his stance on using ice directly after an injury. It is important to note that a lot of practitioners will still use ice directly after an injury, but their approach will come down to two things. The first is an extreme amount of swelling, and the second is going to be pain. Ice can help numb the area to help with pain, but if speed of recovery and getting back to skating as soon as possible is the name of the game, then it's recommended to try and stay away from ice where possible. Now, let's get into what we should be doing. Pain-free movement. Movement as soon as possible is going to be key in the rehabilitation process. However, what type of movement is going to be dependent on the severity of roll and what your capabilities are. If you have a severe roll and you're not able to walk on it, then simply moving, flexing and extending, doing light circles and moving it around as you lay on the couch and as often as you can throughout the day is going to be key to restoring that range of motion. Again, you want to do this as often as possible, whether it be as you're sitting down for work during the day or simply laying down on the couch as you're watching TV. Your next step will be to try to weight bear or walking of some sort. Now, if it is a really severe roll, then using some assistance for things like walking sticks or crutches are going to be key here to allow you to start distributing some weight onto that ankle and building up slowly. Work to your capabilities, but also look to try and do this as soon as you're ready and as soon as possible. Don't leave it to an extended period of time to begin trying this, because your ability to accelerate this process will be dictated on you trying it as soon as you're ready. The final stage of the acute phase of your ankle roll is to start the ankle roll program as soon as possible. Now, when you start this ankle roll program, you may be able to do some exercises and there will be some exercises that you won't be able to do. That is completely fine. Simply do the exercises that you can and then look to start including the exercises that you couldn't do once those windows start opening up, and as you move further away from the acute phase, the range of motion starts to come back from the ankle, and the other exercises that you can do start to have an effect on the ankle that open up the window for you to then try the others. The ankle roll program has 3 phases, with the only thing changing in all 3 phases being the F, the calf raise variations. The reason for this is we're trying to move you from loading that ankle at base level and then progressing you from the 2-legged calf raise to the 2 up, 1 down calf raise and to the single leg calf raise. Your ability to move from one phase to the next one is going to be dictated by your ability to complete 2 to 3 sets of that variation for 15 reps. As soon as you can, you move on to the next phase. Your idea should be trying to move on to the next phase as soon as possible. We're trying to get you through all 3 phases to then allow you to get back to the main foot, calf, and ankle program, which is going to be your key to reintegrating back to skating.